Okay, so today we're on day 4. Today, in day 4, we're going to do literal equations, and then you guys are going to get the take-home quiz number 1. So tomorrow when you get in, we'll do literal equations real quick, and then I'll give you the take-home quiz part 1, and you'll have some time in class to work on that, and then get ready to watch day 5 video. I kind of split this unit in half. The first half was kind of a review of functions and patterns. The second half of this unit is going to be a review of everything to do with slope. So, I kind of wanted to split the quizzes in half as well. I made a mistake when making this. I cut out a bunch of stuff. So, like, all of this right here is not being done in these notes. We're literally going to focus on literal equations. We touched briefly on it in the last unit, and I felt like it's one of those things where the more time I can spend on it, probably the better for everybody. So, in a warm-up problem, we're going to work together. We're going to solve for the variable indicated. And that variable is z. The rules are very simple. If I gave you this problem right here, I'm sure that everybody could solve for it. Because the first thing you would tell me to do is you would tell me to subtract 23. And so we would do that. And everybody would get negative 15 and, we'd all be happy. But let's not do that right now. Let's just look at it. 2z is equal to 8 minus 23. Then you would tell me to divide by 2. You guys are always fine with this stuff. So then we would have z is equal to whatever 8 minus 23 is divided by 2. You all would get 7.5 and we'd all be like, yay, we'd be celebrating because we know how to do it. But for some reason, when we get the same problem, but instead of numbers, we have letters, everybody loses their mind. We're still solving for z. There's just no numbers. So let's follow the same steps. Just like over here, you subtracted 23 first. What do you think you're going to do here? You're going to subtract wx. Just like on the right, you divided by 2. Now we're not dividing by 2. We're dividing by y. So z is equal to v minus wx divided by y. There's no difference. If I gave you this problem and you handled it, use the same properties to solve this problem. Just don't worry about, oh my God, I need to have a number. No, you need to get rid of everything except for the one letter. So I want you to take a second or a couple minutes, do these 4 problems, and then I'll have the answers when we get over to when you unpause the video. Okay, so in the top 2, all I had to do was divide by whatever was connected to the letter I was looking for. In the bottom 2, I had to get everything lined up together and then divide whatever was connected to the letter I was looking at. So negative b divided by 8, d divided by 7. Pretty straightforward. Don't freak out. It's okay. Don't worry about this one. A little bit off kilter there. So same thing happens when I'm solving for x. I just want to get rid of the x. Or get rid of everything that's attached to the x. So for this one, the x is here. So the first thing I need to do is multiply by 2. So when I multiply both sides by 2, I get x minus c is equal to 2d. And now I want to get rid of the c. Well, how do I get rid of the c? I add c. X is equal to 2d plus c. Do these 2, and I'll be calling on people tomorrow in class to help me get down to just x for these. Sometimes you might have to use the distributive property backwards. And when this happens is when we cannot combine things together. So if I try to get all my m's together here, it's not going to work. So if I do minus 4m, minus 4m, okay, well, that's an issue for me because basically what I end up with is negative n is equal to xm minus 4m. And that's not helping me because I still have 2 m's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull an m out. And by doing that, I get m times x minus 4. If you guys remember in Unit 1, we worked on pulling the distributed property backwards. They have an m in common, so we're pulling the m out. And now all I have to do is divide by x minus 4, and I get m by itself. So negative n divided by x minus 4 is equal to m. Same thing here. If I take the AC over here, I get 5c minus AC. If I take the 8 over there, I get y minus 8. Well, that's great, but I'm still supposed to solve this for c. So now I've got to get c by itself. So pull a c out of both, and I get 5 minus a. So c times 5 minus a is equal to y minus 8. And then when I divide by 5 minus a on both sides, I get my final answer. C is equal to y minus 8 divided by 5 minus a. Okay? So there's not really again, you're not going to come up with a number answer. You're going to come up with how do I get the variable I'm looking for by itself. And that's what we did there. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, how does this work in real life? Well, I don't know how many of you guys are going to become physicists, but if you are going to become a physicist, you have a way to be able to apply it. If I give you the formula s equals 1/2 at squared, in the formula a represents acceleration. So, if I know that the moon drops 20.5 meters in 5 seconds, what is the value of a? Well, the most important thing I need to do is I need to figure out how to solve for a. So if I have the equation s is equal to 1/2 at squared, I'm going to get a by itself. The first thing I need to do is multiply by 2 to get rid of the 1/2. So I get 2s is equal to at squared. And then to get to a by itself, I have to divide by t squared. So 2s divided by t squared is equal to a. Okay, so s is the distance and t is the time. So s is 20.5 and t is 5. So I get 41 divided by 25. And when I do that in my calculator, I get a is equal to 1.64 meters per second. So there is a real life application to being able to set up an equation correctly to help you solve a problem. Okay? So tomorrow when we get into class, we're going to work on literal equations for a little bit, solving for a variable, and then you guys are going to get the take-home quiz. The take-home quiz will be due the next day, but you'll have plenty of time in class to work on it. Any questions, come see me, and good luck.